Insights of All Trades podcast.
Well, I got a bachelor's in just plant sciences, general plant sciences from Cornell University in New York, after transferring in from just a local community college.
Okay.
It's kind of unfortunate. My community college scrapped their ag program like 3-4 years after I graduated.
Bummer.
But that's kind of symptomatic of, a bigger issue with agriculture. There just wasn't the enrollment to justify it, unfortunately. But luckily I got through and transferred up to Cornell and got my BS, again, in just general plant sciences.
Okay.
And that was more or less an open curriculum. So I had free reign to take whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
And apply it to the actual real-world conditions of a farm.
So what's that look like, actually applying that?
Most of it deals with pesticide calculations, fertilizer calculations, fertilizer formulations, things like that, and just general identification of pests, diseases, etc. And a lot of the kind of almost like the rogues gallery that you typically experience, what you're going to get year in, year out in terms of pests and diseases. Okay. But it's just a matter of correctly identifying those symptoms or those actual critters in the field, and then just developing a strategy to maintain or to contain, I should say, them.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's pretty straightforward.
And that ties in your other line of work, which is why you're in the Army, right?
Correct. Yeah. At least indirectly.
Indirectly, okay, yeah.
So, basically once I graduated, got my bachelor's, I worked for cooperative extension for a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, for your audience, if they don't know what extension is, it's cooperative extension. It's basically kind of an outgrowth of the land grant institutions. And when I say land grant, I mean universities that were expressly basically founded to provide not only technical expertise, but generating knowledge and disseminating knowledge about agriculture and other things that were, at least at the time, probably more mission critical than now necessarily, right? We were much more entrenched in our agricultural agrarian lifestyle back in the day. So basically you have all these teams of professors generating all this data, doing all this research, but then it needs to be translated to the end user, the farmer. The farmer is not going to necessarily appreciate what these academics in the ivory tower,
these peer-reviewed
studies, that they don't know how to make heads or tails of that necessarily. And that's not to demean the farmer. It's just they're speaking two different languages in essence. Exactly. So you need a kind of a lingual translator in the middle, and that's where cooperative extension fits in. So they take that, they apply it, they present it to the farmer and say, this is a new practice, this is an up-and-coming new crop that you might want to try, and these are the reasons why. And they often do on-farm trials. To say, hey, this is not just kind of an abstract concept that works just in the lab. This you could roll out in your field, at your farm.
So is that what you were doing then?
So I was doing that for a little bit, for about 2 years. It was about 2 years.
And is this mostly vegetable farms?
This was more on the vegetable potato side.
Okay.
Right.
Interesting.
Right.
And is this all, what area is this?
So this is Long Island still.
Long Island still,
This is Long Island still, believe it or not. Yep. I actually started with, it was basically kind of the structural IPM program. So IPM standing for Integrated Pest Management. So kind of a toolbox of best practices to manage more household type pests. And that was for about a year, but then I transitioned into more the vegetable potato program, kind of a lateral transfer into something a little bit more relevant to what I had been doing historically.